this is going on.
I'm so glad we're reading 4chan comments. I am here for Louis to read 4chan comments.
There's
Go
a
ahead, Louis.
4chan comment.
What is 8chan telling us? No. I said they only get the foil commons in the box openings on my channel. Whoa. Welcome to May the Zoo be with you. America's most favorite podcast that has the name of the Dead Games. I am, of course, joined by Hopalong himself. Everybody, Louis, be nice to Josh this week because he broke his leg in 5 places.
Oh,
Josh!
I only broke it in one very specific place.
How's it feel?
Hurts a lot.
Did Louis kick you?
And he's still here, George. He's still on the podcast.
Yeah, he's not
Broken
doing
leg-
good. He's just hurt.
Broken leg and all, he still shows up.
He has nothing
assume
better to do. I do. That's the problem.
I assume since I'm further down, Louis will probably kick me again.
He used to stand at his desk, and now he has to sit. How is he going to do the podcast?
And I'm, of course, joined by the man who said Sorcery was his last NDTCG until Altered came out this week, Louis DeGeorge.
Altered is backed by Asmodee. So it's not an NDT.
Yeah. Want to wait till Nom Nom World? Want to wait till Nom Nomiverse?
And we are joined by George, the person who said Metazoo couldn't die, that it was doing
Never
great.
said that.
It was doing
Never
great.
said that.
3 months ago, it was doing great, everyone.
Did not
Welcome
say that.
to a wild podcast. We're going to have some fun. We're talking about the death of Metazoo.
Weirdly, I said that about Genesis. like, that's a much better dig about the other dead card game.
We're going to talk about the death of Metazoo. We're going to go right into murders of Karlov Manor singles. We're going to talk about something dying. Then we're going to talk about murdering something. We're going to do Wubby.
Hide your children, hide your wives.
Wubby got another fake unlimited deck. We're going to talk about where he got it from. And we're going to talk about the vintage Magic market a little bit. We're going to talk about Hasbro leaving and dumping Dungeons and Dragons. Scoopy for y'all.
Not a Scoopy. At best, it's a rumor.
We're going to talk about the new Sorcery changes. We're going to do Kickstarters are back, baby. And we're going to talk about One Piece. And then we're going to talk about Lorcana. A lot of topics today. Strap in, everyone. It's going to be a long podcast. So
that follows.
All right. Before we get into Metazoo, I wanted to say something.
Okay.
On the podcast, our coping mechanism, the three of us, the way that we cope, is to make jokes of things. So before we start, let us say that we have been very frustrated by what has happened in the last couple days with Metazoo or week with Metazoo. And we're going to joke about it. We're going to joke about it because that's how we cope with things. But our
healthy.
Gosh, does that box still glow in the dark, baby? Does that box still just glows in the dark? It's beautiful. Yeah, don't get upset with us for making jokes about things. That's how
we do get upset. I couldn't care less. Put that in the comment section. Pump that algo.
All right, so Metazoo died. Where do we start?
Maybe. You don't
It
know.
died, and on the third hour, it was resurrected again.
Oh, we should add that we're filming this on Wednesday. So, like, Metazoo could very easily have been purchased by the time this airs. It could be dead.
Easily be purchased?
It could be bigger than Magic by the time this airs.
Could you imagine if the game comes back in 20 years?
Yeah. Imagine what the box will be worth. All right. So let's start with what happened. Let's start with what we know.
Hold on. That's a great thing to start with because I don't know if anyone knows.
We know what happened. We got an email or a message from Mike.
Wait, we did not. Mike posted in Discord.
Posted a Discord message.
There was
all the same
in the Discord that was shutting down, by the way.
I thought that they said that they were only going to be communicating with us via email now. They said that was a lost legacy, and instead he posts on Discord.
Yeah.
This is what I mean by we'll start with what we know. There's already some controversy here, but go on. Do your thing.
So do you have the statement up or not?
It's up there. Metazoo Games closure statement is on the screen for everybody to see.
And importantly, who signed that statement, Louis?
Michael Waddle.
Waddell.
Oh, sorry.
Is it Waddle or Waddell?
No, it's definitely Waddle. Waddell. It's definitely Waddell.
All right. So Mike says company's closed.
Doing great.
And figured the company was closed.
Nobody was surprised. Let's start there.
I mean,
what
I don't
gave you
think
that
that's
idea?
true. I don't think that's true. I mean, I think people knew it was on the struggle bus.
So there's been a lot of rumors.
He was talking 2 weeks ago about the roadmap. The roadmap came out less than 30 days ago for this year.
Yep.
Yeah.
He did interviews, I believe, right before that, where he talks about what he needs to do to turn around the zoo.
Yeah.
I think pretty close to that announcement.
Yeah.
Metazoo posts the announcement. We all text each other. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. By the time we hang up our phones, Instagram's deleted, Twitter's deleted.
That happened before. This is important.
That happened.
Instagram got deleted before.
Yep.
I know this because I texted somebody saying, "Hey, my phone just blew up. Looks like Metazoo gets deleted their Instagram. What's going on?" and they were like, "I don't know." God bless. I don't know either.
So that
allegedly,
happened. And then 3 hours later,
not alleged. That part they deleted the Instagram.
A few hours later, Instagram pops back up, Twitter pops back up, and the
statement is gone.
The statement's gone from
statement is gone.
Well, not how the internet works. Statement's still 100%
statement
around.
was never made.
Meanwhile, 400 billion YouTube videos go up about Metazoo dying.
Where were you all? Where were you all? Where were you? Hiding.
Metazoo basically starts trending on YouTube.
Yeah. Is them and Tay leading the charge this week?
Is Metazoo going to be the halftime show? Is that it's going to be the anthem?
All right, let's talk about that for a second. I got some thoughts on this. I know that whoever the Chiefs played lost, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
They're not the biggest loser this week by a mile.
Who's the biggest loser?
Usher. Can you imagine doing the halftime show with Tay in the audience?
Yeah.
That's going to be rough. That's going to be rough for Usher.
Okay, it's going to be weird when they pan over the field and all the lights from the phones are facing the other direction.
And it's not Tay-Tay's fault. It's not Tay-Tay's fault. Tay-Tay's chill. Tay-Tay's chill. She was on the field.
So
being on the field, hold on. Being on the field of the AFC Championship game does not necessarily emit chill. She's
giving a little smoky smokes.
I am criticizing everyone who's like, Taylor Swift is ruining my football. I'm like, you're being ridiculous.
I was looking last week. I agree with you.
Being on the field of the AFC Championship game, not chill.
She was on the TV for 44 seconds during the game. 44 seconds.
Not chill.
It seems like a lot, but okay.
Be Jason Kelsey.
In your opinion,
he kept. Did you see his Hawaiian shirt?
Hold on. In your opinions, is Metazoo Games closed or not right now?
Right now, no.
No.
It's definitely not closed right now.
Michael Scott, I declare
that was my joke to you. I gave that to you.
Oh, that's what
I gave you that joke.
Everybody
I gave you that joke. Wow.
Everybody said that. Stop it. You probably saw a meme of somebody posting it in
I think that's probably true.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
So here's my argument.
That's what happened, right?
Here's my argument for you saying no is the million YouTube videos and all the articles that are coming out and people talking about it. Metazoo's done. It's over.
Oh wait, no, that's a different question.
That's
a different question.
Two different questions.
So all right, let's talk about what this means. Let's talk about why my little spidey sense went off even before the statement went away, if that's okay.
Okay, well then we also need to say what he cited as the end of Metazoo. We probably should get into that. But okay.
You want to go to that first?
Give us your spidey sense. What happened 3 months ago after you said it was all back and everything was going to be okay? I did not say that. I did not say that. Carnival set was going to.
Hold on. There was one person on this podcast that said that it's not going to make it through 2024. And it wasn't either of you two. So I just want let's make that very clear.
Yeah, probably. I definitely didn't think they were just going to leave. I didn't think it was
2 weeks later.
Sorry, hold on. I didn't predict January of 2024.
I didn't know. I mean, everyone said it was a rug pull. I didn't know it was a rug pull. Everyone just said it was a rug pull.
That's what makes a good rug pull.
So when the statement comes out, I call somebody who like I know is deeply involved in the zoo.
Hey.
And I'm like, hey, like, sucks to be you. Sorry, boss. Think nothing of it. I'm sad about it. Like, I'll talk about why I'm sad about it in a minute, but like, I'm sad about this. I love the zoo. And like, all of a sudden, like, I reread the statement like 20 minutes later. And I'm like, this statement makes no sense. Because it doesn't say we're unwinding. It doesn't say we're going bankrupt. It doesn't say it's over. It says we're ceasing operations, and basically we hope to use the IP in the future. They have acknowledged that they owe some people money. Yeah. This is in addition to the private people who have reached out to me saying they owe money. It's not including my poker decks. It's not including my poker decks, which I'm starting to doubt.
Well, they owe a ton of people a ton of product, and I know they owe companies money. There's like rumors going around with the Hello Kitty stuff. Was that part of it? Like they over invested in the IP of Hello Kitty and didn't have the payback. There's a lot of rumors, which we will talk about. We will get into the rumors.
Yeah, we speculate. That's what this podcast does.
The reality
Are you trying to get me banned?
They owed.
You think we're gonna kick to the partner program?
Are you gonna get me? Are you about to get me banned from the zoo? I have a box and everything.
They owed a lot of people a lot of product.
They owed me product. I bought a couple things from
the streamer kits. I mean, like, there's a lot of product that, and that sucks. Like that's
and they didn't, and I don't believe that people who were in the Caster Cup got paid.
Yeah,
is my understanding.
Yep.
Like they owed money to people, and like, which is why like you can't just say, "I'm done and going home."
Right.
Like you have to do something. You either have to declare bankruptcy, or you have to pay them.
Right.
Well, and George, I told you this privately in a conversation. You definitely can't do. We're done. We're taking our ball. We're going home. Also, the footnote of our statement is we believe we have something extremely valuable. We hope to do something with this in the future. If you're going to say, I hope to do something with this in the future as a business, and you owe me money, I would be like, well, I want that at least.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the statement right away. Like after I thought of this, I'm like, God, this is a really strange statement.
Yeah.
And then like all of a sudden the statement disappeared. Instagram was turned back on. And people were like, are we back, baby?
It's got to be lawyers, right? Like at some point, like he went unhinged and just like posted it like without talking to anybody. And then like the lawyer was like, hey, dude, what the hell are you doing?
Ironically, I think you're onto something. Your take earlier of is Metazoo closed and it's done, right?
Yeah.
There was probably distinction made there where I think you're onto something. Someone said, hey, you can't just be closed. Like you have to keep up some appearances here. You can't just be like, all right, see ya. Everything shut down. Peace.
And
like,
now we have a message from somebody at Golden.
You've got to polywog it, right? You have to be like, the product is coming. If you want to pay more money for it, you can have it.
That's the way indies work. Can I just say, this is why I love indies. Like, I want you all to appreciate how amazing this is.
When you're worse than polywog.
This is not amazing.
It's just amazing. Screw you. In the span of like 9 months, we had an owner of a company of 8 years who put his life and soul into a card game close his company citing Linkin Park lyrics.
and now it's the two games that you were all about. You were all in on.
All Genesis in. And how's Polywog doing? Polywog doing good for you?
Are you the scammer?
How's Cryptic? Is Cryptic doing good? Is Cryptic good?
Listen, I've owned Cryptic. I'm over 1, baby. Well, there's another game that I'm over 1 on too. I get some over now.
Over 1? Over 1?
I did quit my entire life for one of the games.
I have quit my job for no games. Okay, so anywho, where was I before your personal attacks again? Week after week with you. So like we now have a message from somebody at Golden that's now been shared publicly that we don't believe is altered, basically saying, yeah, there was some internal conflict. They're still, figuring stuff out. It's cool, baby. And it's like, what is going on?
That ship has sailed. I mean, there's zero coming back from
There's one way to come back from this. There's one way.
He's still in on it.
Oh my God, say it.
He
Say it. Hold on.
refuses.
Shut up. Say it.
They can
Say
get bought.
It
By
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It absolutely
By-
matters.
hold on.
It-
Yes, it does. By who? Who
Oh, I
can
don't
say?
know. Doesn't matter who buys it. Like if Steve
Oh,
Aoki,
no,
if
there's
Steve
one
Aoki buys
trading
it, if
card
Steve
game.
Aoki finds a partner, Metazoo has been like we stopped talking about it because he kept promising more and more stuff and delivering less and less.
No, like who in their right mind touches a thing that is this toxic? Like a CEO posting this and the game's over and then it's not over. I mean, it's like
So the
it's
question
like
is,
your
do you
high
view that
school
as a problem
girlfriend.
with
This
the
is like
company?
your high school girlfriend telling you she's going to prom with you and then going with your friend and then saying, "No, my friend didn't show up, so I want to go with you now." Like this is like it is.
That sounded really. That sounded.
That actually did happen to me.
Bold
Shout
of you to
Shout out
believe
to
that
Emily.
we were
Emily.
any of
Shout
us
out
were
to you,
cool
Emily.
enough to have
Look at me
girlfriends in
now.
high school.
Look at me now, Emily.
I have
I
a failed YouTube
I
channel.
felt
We
Pokemon
talk about that
Magic card.
TCGs on my failed podcast. Take that, Emily. You missed this.
Oh boy.
Like to me, there's a question of like, is this a problem of management or a question of company? Like, I still think Metazoo has something.
Is no company when your owner, when your boss, when your CEO says, "Hey everyone, sorry, I'm out." All the artists are gone, dude. Like, there's no Metazoo left.
For
But
legal
done.
reasons, on the books, there still is a company.
That's
Yeah,
true.
but their
But, like,
IP doesn't even barely exist. They didn't do
This
anything
isn't
with it.
this isn't new. The
No, but
Metazoo's
it
been
was,
in this
like
state.
before. It was like they were gonna do something with it. Mike's writing a book. Mike's doing. You know what? There is gonna be a Netflix show about Metazoo.
absolutely.
That is the real take here, is that Mike is just trying to blow this up so that he can sell the documentary rights about him scamming the TCG
God,
industry.
What's a 30 for 30 in the TCG world?
It's gonna be a 3-part Netflix series, the scam meta scam or something like that. It's gonna be
That would be one of those shows on Netflix that gets less views than this podcast.
no way, dude.
Absolutely.
Dude, they
Louis,
would
there's
like hype
nobody
it up.
like there's 5 people who care about any
They
TCG,
would
let alone
hype
an
it up.
indie TCG, let alone a dead indie TCG.
I'm sure
And-
he's
and,
already.
like-
I'm sure he's already trying to sell the rights to it.
Something I've learned from content is people will only hate watch for so long. That you'll only get
Except
so
for
many
this
views.
podcast, and we're still
hate
going
watching.
strong, and I appreciate all you hate watching.
Except for the one person that's always in the comment section, you know who
Shout
you
out.
are. Shout out
Shout
to you.
out.
You'll hate watch
Shout
every
out.
week, and I appreciate the crap out of you.
Thanks for the views. I don't know who it is, but that's okay.
It's my favorite human being by far. It's not even close.
Maybe it's a bot. What if
I
it's-
got maybe it's a bot.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Okay. So I still think there's a way out of this.
The responses aren't good enough for it to be a bot.
I think there's a way out
What
of
do you need to? What do you need to happen in order to accept that it's like it's done, it's over?
Never. You can bury me. You can bury me with my Metazoo. Do not do that.
I will say.
Actually,
I will
hold on.
say
I
that
think you might be able to at this
I
point.
begged
might be real.
George. I begged George to send me a Kickstarter box so that I
Won't
can
do
open a Kickstarter box.
Priceless. It's
on the
priceless.
channel. He was like, "No, it's not worth the time to ship it." And I said, "I'll send you the label. You can slap the label right on the box. You don't even have to put it in a box. Just slap the label right on that box and ship it to me."
That would have been really great content.
It would have been so good.
Like they can get bought. And like the
Not gonna
question is like, listen, like they have a problem with management. They get like Mike. I like Mike personally. I haven't talked to Mike in years, but like Mike in probably a year now. But like Mike can't be involved. Andy can't be involved.
So
like,
what
they
is
need-
somebody buying then? There's no.
Well,
Cart-
there's one important question, and that is like, will the artists come back under new management? Why wouldn't they?
because there's other things for the artists to do.
But I mean, like,
The phrase is starving artist for a reason. I'm not saying
Yeah,
that
I
like
mean,
artists
like-
can't find work, but I would think you'd take work at a premium.
like if somebody came in, and also like, I still think Metazoo has a cool idea. It's just been mismanaged.
Well, and this is the.
Like
I will say this.
A geographic specific game with fourth wall effects
Right.
is a smart idea.
But you can do that without the Metazoo toxicity and background. What store is gonna be like, you know what I want to do is pre-order the next Metazoo set, because that's gonna be so easy to sell to customers whose experience now with Metazoo is just nothing but the game's a scam, the game's a scam, the game's a scam. Oh wait, the game is actually a scam. Like that is the history of Metazoo.
But there is something to be said about a lot of people have these negative emotions towards Metazoo. But when you look at, I'm a consumer, I want this thing, I loved it, I got hurt by it. Hey, it's sold, it's owned by a new company. I'm probably more open to giving it a second shot, right? I loved Metazoo, I did it, I wanted the thing, but now the company is sold. Maybe that's what I need to, like, I'll give this another shot.
Maybe.
If Genesis can be picked up by Southern, certainly Metazoo 2.0 can.
That's fair. I mean,
oh my god, Metazoo 2.0 is the best take that's ever happened on this pod.
So
how did I not think of that?
Metazoo Unlimited.
I will say this, like,
It's
the
Metazoo
thing that
2.0.
has frustrated me so much is seeing and talking to people who love Metazoo and what this meant them. And then really, I guess that's not the thing that's frustrating me so much. The thing that frustrates me more is like the comment sections of the videos and the negativity from commenters that are like, oh ha 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 ha, your game died. I told you guys were gonna do it. And it's like, dude, like there are people who love, like, I've greatly reduced my Metazoo like attention in the last year. Ever since, for me, it was the kits, the LGS kits. Yeah, when Mike
was furious at us about that.
When we did the LGS kit video, and we fought against it on the podcast, and we got the nastiest emails, messages in response to that, and we continued to like talk about it a little bit, but that's when we kind of backed off for sure. Saw the writing on the wall. We talked about this on the podcast a couple of times, but what's sad to me is like people had moved on and stopped being like, I love Mike, I love Metazoo, and started being like, I love the community. And you saw this community form around Metazoo that was like really cool and tight knit, and like that's what sucks is like people. That's why I think it's sad that people are going to lose. Because listen, people are going to go to other games. That's what's going to happen here. Like this week, the next 2 weeks, you'll see a lot of people buying and selling Metazoo, and then it's going to be over. And
there's been more sales in the last 24 hours than the last 24 months, I think.
Oh yeah, there's way more.
I could see that.
Way more attention on them. I mean, people like, frankly, like I started looking. I was like, oh my gosh, if I can get a Kickstarter box, I'll kind of want to. I don't like. I don't have any Kickstarter boxes. I kind of want a Kickstarter box. Like
I have some.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna buy one from you eventually.
You were not.
When we talked about what to expect next,
I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever sell them. I know I will never sell them to you.
Yes, you will. You will. You won't say it on the podcast, but you will.
I will never sell them. Like, I mean, listen, like, so somebody asked me this week, like, why I feel different about Metazoo versus another indie TCG that has some issues with me. And like, I won't name names, shout out to Genesis. And so I would say, like, here's the reason. My two favorite indie TCG memories are centered around Metazoo. And Mike, and that's exactly what you said yesterday. Like, it's not around Mike, it's not around Andy, it's around the people who loved Metazoo.
Yeah.
Like, my very favorite TCG memory was going out to pizza with like the Metazoo team without the executives and a lot of the people from KitchenTableTCG.
Yeah. You
weren't there because you said you were going to be there, but you bailed, obviously.
Yep. I remember.
Yep. And like, we had a great time. We opened a box of first edition. I think it was either my first edition or Kickstarter.
It was probably second edition.
They didn't exist yet. It was a blast. Like, we had a great time. Like that was my favorite TCG memory. It probably still is.
Yeah.
Next time we went, you didn't bail that time, and I got this first edition Metazoo comic signed by everybody. And it was a lot of fun. We had a great time. And like, again, like, I really have really good memories of Metazoo. I suspect it's probably over. I think there's a path forward, but I think the odds of that are not tremendously high. I would say probably there's a 25% chance this thing is around in a year.
I don't,
in a meaningful way. Like, you could convince me the bankruptcy takes time. You could convince me of that. Like,
sure.
I just don't think I don't know. I think Genesis works for a second reboot because Genesis was not big. It didn't
Well, no,
it didn't
with-
grow. It didn't like Metazoo flew close to the sun and crashed and burned in a fiery mess of owners taking way too much money and it going away. Like, I don't know. Anyway,
Let's go ahead.
so like
are we gonna speculate on what happened and why? Are we gonna get into it?
we can.
No, yeah.
Go ahead, Josh.
I think we have seen the last of the TCG Metazoo. The premise here is like, hey, if it's going to come back, someone's got to buy it. And spoiler alert, it's not the pandemic anymore. Even the TCG, your favorite indie TCG, whatever it is in the comment section, you guys out there, it's not the same. You're not selling the same number of boxes. Somebody now has to commit to making Metazoo the TCG no longer because it's something that's highly profitable, but for the love of making a TCG. Like that's what the indie TCG space is dominated by. It's not this massive cash cow that it was in 2019, 2020, where you could get the eyes of all these people. And yeah. I don't think we're going to see someone that says it's worth it. And I've said this. I mean, you took what I said.
It's worth something. Like somebody would buy it for some price.
Well, but why do they buy it, George?
Well, I think there's two reasons. I think the first is like I do think there's a way forward for something in the game. Like I have said this the whole time. I think basically every indie TCG needs to give up on printing cards. They need to go digital.
Well,
like
I think
digital is the future.
You can't not print cards, but you need to do both.
Listen.
You can't not print cards, but you have to do both.
The digital game, like they kind of came out with it, but it's got a long way to go still. And like it's still Metazoo. And like I like Metazoo. I enjoyed the mechanics and the gameplay of Metazoo. But it was always really convoluted and complex.
But I mean, like that's you can simplify the rule book. You can simplify. You can reorganize the rule book. Spoiler alert.
We'll make a whole section about it on our podcast.
We can discuss at length how they could reorganize a rule book.
Right, but you can't get rid of you can't get rid of the name Metazoo. You can't get rid of the negativity that comes along with it of what this has been over the last year. You also can't get because like it's also the positivity. It's not just one-sided.
And there's a bunch of exposure too to that credit. There's a bunch of exposure to Metazoo.
I don't know, guys.
If there's a brand new indie TCG,
it was this is a scam, this is a scam, this is the scam, and everybody was like, no, it's not a scam. It looks really cool. It's a lot of fun. I love it. It is good, and like things are going well, and boxes are selling, and it's great. They have this event, this whatever, and then all of a sudden, Mike leaves and posts this thing, and it's like, no, it was a scam. This whole thing.
I don't think that's
like this whole thing.
Well, you can't convince me, the most skeptical human on the face of the planet when it comes to Metazoo. You can't convince me it was always a scam.
Like
you can't convince me that this has been the world's longest
be a scam.
So I don't think it was always a scam. I agree with that. But the last 6 months to a year look really, really ugly with all the pre-orders,
60 days
all the delaying really things and saying, no, we'll ship it soon. We'll ship it soon. Keep buying things. Like it just looks so. And everything else is, that's facts. There's a lot of rumors about like all the stuff that was purchased by the owners and, external
Lambos.
Money. There's a comment that basically says this is going on.
I'm so glad we're reading 4chan comments. I am here for Louis to read 4chan comments.
There's a 4chan comment.
What is 8chan telling us?
That's essentially like Mike and Andy have the money to pay off the debts, but they just won't. And like, there's a lot of stuff going on that looks pretty realistic now.
All in on the 4chan comments.
I'm with you. I told you I don't think we'll ever see the Metazoo TCG in a meaningful way ever again. And that's driven by the fact that TCGs aren't what they were. And we've all agreed TCGs aren't getting more popular. Like unless Lorcana continues on a 6 to 10 year run, and we have a bunch of new people moving to Magic in the future, because that's exactly what'll happen there. They're not getting more popular. And you guys have even said, hey, people who are into Metazoo, why would this company buy Metazoo? The company, when they closed their doors, admitted we have one thing, and it's the IP, and we hope to do something with it in the future. And all of your defense of Metazoo over the last year that I've been on this damn podcast has been about, well, they could do cool stuff with the IP. It's never been about the TCG. The TCG is done. As I've said for a while, that's sad for people that love it, but there's no reason to resurrect it in a meaningful way. You could tell me the video game comes. You could tell me they resurrect the IP and the cryptids and all that, but the TCG is not coming back.
Yeah, and I think that's fair, but I go one step further and say that because of the way that this has gone down and is going down, you've ruined the brand. But I used IP as a very strong word because I think there was a lot of future for the IP. But if you go way back, one of the things I talked about was like, I love the idea of like Metazoo shirts. It's a brand. It's like a culture. It's like it's like that's done to me. Like I think that's just like I don't know if you can come back from all of this now.
There's one saving grace. There's one buyer that makes that brand cool to wear. It's not you. If Rudy buys Metazoo, it becomes cool again. And the belief floods back in, baby.
Screw
if
it.
Rudy buys Metazoo,
I love Rudy. You won't find a bigger
I thought we were
fanboy.
going, but I'm in. Rudy, get in my DMs.
If Rudy buys
opposite of
Metazoo,
cool.
this box moves to the front of the stage, baby. I might just wear this box as a
Rudy's
hat.
going to do nothing but collector's editions. It's going to be each cards 101.
Rudy
He's gonna print 10 boxes and it's only available to patrons.
love Rudy. The opposite of cool. Like he's not like a like.
Oh wow! I'm not gonna lie, Josh. I did not see that one coming. That is not where I thought you were heading.
Can you imagine the 1-of-1 taco card out of the next Metazoo set?
I mean, like Aoki could buy him out, and like then.
Oh no,
then
I don't
maybe
want to know.
Then maybe
how it
it's
happens.
something, but like I
How it
don't know,
happens.
man. I think if I'm Aoki, I'm like, why would I touch this? Why would I?
Because your name's on it. You own share. Like the rumor's always been he owns equity.
So if Aoki touches it,
I don't
it's
even know
to,
if that's
it's
a
to
rumor.
help his. It's to
I think
prop
Mike said it on this podcast.
something up the
Yeah.
By the way, Louis, I want to congratulate you. Your #1 video in terms of views is still Metazoo. So I want to congratulate you for Metazoo building your channel.
Oh man.
Wait, is that true?
Yeah.
It does not include the shorts, but yeah.
But
Yeah, it does not include. It doesn't include the guess the scam, win the scam. So like that's true.
It doesn't include the mini rug poll that you do every week.
Yeah.
This YouTube channel is such a disappointment. Please don't tell my parents. Please don't tell my parents.
Well, that's our title this week. This channel's a disappointment. Don't tell my parents. May the zoo be with you.
Please, people, go watch my videos. Go watch. As a community. Go watch another video and just
only watch the how to play Metazoo video.
Do not
only watch the how to play Metazoo.
You
want that trending.
You want me to be depressing? Take a screenshot of my channel's videos sorted by most watched and send it to me, and that will ruin my day.
My channel's most watch is almost all Magic now, which is pretty great. Except for
I was on the phone with Louis when I
video.
discovered this, and it made me so happy because it made him so sad.
Josh, what do you think my top 4 videos are? Metazoo's number 1. How to play Metazoo is the #1 vid.
By a lot.
Didn't you do an indie TCG video with the professor? That's got to be up there.
Yep, that's number 2.
There's another how to play video that's probably up there because nobody else has ever done one.
And number 4. It was 3 and 4. You got 3 and 4.
Yeah, that's my guess.
Oh my gosh, I gotta do more how to play videos. This is what I need to do. I gotta do.
Hold on? How many views is your highest viewed video? Your how to play Metazoo video?
It's like 33,000 or something like that. Yeah, dude, you're beating me. Yeah.
What's your #1 video, Josh?
Listen, you're a prick. Don't be nice this week. Just keep being a prick.
I'm so afraid to make any jokes towards Josh right now. It's unbelievable.
If you want to make jokes towards me, that's fine. If you want to be a prick,
if you want to be like we're never friends, it's like I never knew you.
I'm not interested. If
I don't want to be a crutch for the podcast.
I like that. I like that.
I like that. Be my crutch.
I like that. I like that.
You're short enough. Oh my God, you're short enough. I could use you as a crutch when you're here.
Yeah.
Tiny Tim.
God, you're gonna have that giant thing on your foot up there.
You're gonna have it at MagicCon.
I might bail on seeing Louis at MagicCon. Actually,
no, you won't.
He bailed on me the first time I was supposed to meet him. Josh, if it helps any.
No, you won't.
And weirdly, it became my favorite TCG memory.
I'll wear a Hawaiian shirt the weekend that I bail.
I'll carry you on my back. How about that?
I'm in.
We'll see.
I'll just carry you around.
I think I'm too tubby. I don't think it'll work. Anyway, what were we talking about?
Probably.
All right. So where does this end? What do y'all think?
Where does this end? It's done. It's over. This is over. Like
I don't think it's over. I think someone, and again, let's get conspiracy theory about it. Let's get conspiracy theory about it.
Let's speculate.
Why
We've
did
already gone down to 4chan? There's nowhere else to go, Josh.
So Louis, you were on my
is citing 8chan as a source. We are going nowhere but up, Josh. I assure you.
Louis, you were on my team here. Why did they pull the announcement?
The lawyers, but the announcement was still made. It's not like it's the internet. You can get Mike's.
Hold on.
You can get Mike's MySpace photos and put those on the internet too. Like it's there.
Here's what we don't know: were his fingers crossed when he posted it?
Hold on, boo boo.
Was he like post?
Somebody is going to convince Mike that there has to be a reasonable effort to show that that's not the case. That the game is still around and healthy. Otherwise, you can't just post that, pull it down, continue to do nothing and let it die, and then post it again in a month. I think someone behind the scenes is going to...
It's the same exact message in exactly 30 days.
Someone behind the scenes is going to be like, hey, you have to keep up appearances for like 3 months now because of that, and then shut down.
A screenshot of the first announcement on the 30th day.
So I'm not calling this Metazoo's death. I'm calling it their death rattle. There's going to be still some movement in there. There's going to be some shaking.
Like, I want to be real. Like, let's imagine this. So they just put up today this is Wednesday. Today, 2 days after this announcement, they put up redemptions for the Revive skateboards. They were out of stock for weeks. And
is that true?
Yes, that's true. So
reasonable effort. They are showing reasonable effort.
Let me play a game in my head. If I am one of the people who is one of the beautiful, amazing, sad people that is working in the Metazoo fulfillment section this week, why would I come to work? Why would I come to work? Why would I like?
Well, your paycheck. What do you mean? What do you mean? Your paycheck's still going to clear?
I don't know about that. Like, I don't have that confidence.
I don't know.
I'm not gonna.
Let's use Joey, beautiful, amazing human being who ships the cards in my store.
Oh, that Joey. I was like, what's going on now?
This could have gone a lot of ways.
I was like, I don't know, boss. I ain't going there. I'm out.
Let's say that I make a post tomorrow that Joey sees that's like, Game Grove Kitchen Table TCG is shutting down. And then like 6 hours later, I'm like, oh, cancel that. No communication. It's not an April Fool's joke. You think Joey's going to be like, I'm coming into work, everything's great? Or do you think Joey's going to go get another job? Like, Joey's going to go get another job. And that's the same thing that's going to happen to everybody on the Metazoo payroll. It's done. Like,
do you want a live rumor? Do you want a live rumor right now?
Maybe. Yes, 100%.
In the second largest Metazoo group, somebody just posted the rumor Bandai purchased Metazoo and they removed Michael Waddell from the company.
Hold on. That was the only one that would buy a dead TCG that can't go anywhere when I was looking at Louis in the first part of this podcast was Bandai, but I didn't want to hurt Louis and his feelings.
Claiming that Shaw is now in control. I will add, this is probably even to Louis' 8chan rumor. We have no clue if this is true. It probably isn't. That would be lightning fast sale.
Can we agree on something?
Mm-hmm.
This podcast on Friday will be marketed as live, saying we found this out live. We know the rumors. We know what happened to Metazoo, and you're here to find out because we have all the scoops. Welcome to the 6 o'clock news.
What would Bandai do with it?
I gotta ask 8chan.
What do you mean? They're gonna print a million boxes and kill the game.
I gotta ask 8chan.
Look, anyway, you guys know
Bandai's got one remotely successful TCG out of the 78 that they've done, and you're like, why would they touch this horrible TCG? Like, because that's what they do. That's their thing.
But they don't buy dead TCGs. They make dead TCGs.
For what it's worth,
they use dead IPs, and they have found the next dead IP.
Oh, they're gonna make a brand new game, a brand new Metazoo game.
For what it's worth,
dead TCGs out of dead IPs, and they've done it.
I find this really unlikely.
Dude, shout out to Mike if he's able to sell this.
I certainly find it unlikely that the information would already leak this fast.
You also don't know what he sold it for.
I don't think that's the issue anymore.
$30? I don't know, man.
The question is the debt. We don't know how much debt they have.
The rumor is $3 million.
Okay, if that's true, I'd be shocked if Bandai bought it for $3 million.
That's the rumor.
Well, that's the rumor of the price of Metazoo.
No, the debt. That's the number that's floating around in the Discord groups.
If that rumor is true, I'd find. I mean, like, I would not pay $3 million for this.
Wouldn't.
Listen, George, that's what makes you financially savvy. I was gonna pay $3 million for Metazoo, but George advised me not to. Thanks, George.
Now, what I don't know is, like, like there's ways around this, though, right? Like, can you settle with some of the debtors? Can you tell Aoki, listen, man, you don't want this egg on your face. We're gonna wipe off $1 million of debt. You're gonna pay $1 million. I'm gonna pay $1 million.
Rudy can. I believe in you, Rudy. Rudy for Metazoo president. Make Rudy.
All right,
Metazoo
I'm going to give a
again.
shout out to Rudy
Make
it seems
Rudy
like
Metazoo again.
one of the
like
things I did not like that came out this past week was that, like, Mike went on, did a bunch of these interviews and talked to a bunch of people, like, their plans for the year. I find that to be a little hard to believe that, like, we had these plans and 2 weeks later we were closed. Not saying it's not possible. Yeah. I'm saying I find that challenging to believe.
I think
they weren't genuine plans. To say that if the plans were communicated, they weren't genuine.
I think the plans are real. I think Mike had a buyer lined up and maybe some things weren't communicated correctly, and then buyer found out about other things and was like, never mind. And like, that's
oddly specific.
No, it's not specific. It's just like,
it's 8cans coming back, baby.
Like if you follow it for what it's, if you take yourself out of this and watch
24can has all the deets.
Watch it from 10,000 feet. Like
your Chan multiplier is all over the place, bro.
There was a lot of rumors that he was looking for a buyer, right? Then, like, all of a sudden, it's like no one's buying it. I don't know.
It's Rudy. Rudy's the only thing that can save this game, and I
could save it.
Here's what I would say to our viewers
for a year and a half till
let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up. We gotta wrap this up. It's 41 minutes in. Here's what I would say. My advice to our viewers is, if you love Metazoo, A, our condolences. B,
does that sound like you're giving some? Does not sound like you were giving condolences.
B, you need to evaluate. Do you
how you pick TCGs because you picked wrong.
I think you need to, like, there are people who love Metazoo and like $5-10 a box are buying boxes right now because they're like, I might never be able to get boxes again. And they're like, hey, $5-10 a box, I'm buying boxes because right now I can, and I can crack open boxes. Enjoy that. Like, enjoy that. But if you don't love Metazoo anymore, it's time to just, like, this is the best time to sell. Like, there is so much attention.
Unless Bandai buys it, combines it with One Piece, and also you punks on the moon.
There you go. I don't know.
Meta piece to 1K.
I'm in.
Meta piece. Anything else?
No,
Metazoo with us all. Oh, yes. One more thing. We will never change the name of this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
It's way funnier.
We had discussed it before. Now is 10,000 times funnier.
Hold on. If the brand really does go under, how much do you think it takes for us to buy the rights to the brand so that we can yell at anyone else?
Metazoo, Metazoo, a Magic the Gathering podcast.
Hold on. I want to buy it just to copy strike every video on Louis' channel. I'm gonna buy it for like $10. I'm gonna copyright strike.
I think that goes away when the CEO has been on the channel multiple times.
I think it also goes away when the font is $5 on defont.com.
Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah. How do you think he made it?
I thought he drew it. I'll be honest.
I bought the font to make our logo.
The font?
Defont.com.
Defont.
It was $5. And I remember being like, should I buy this or should I just reach out to Mike and see?
Oh my God, there's a website full of fonts.
Yeah, dude.
What did you think it was?
I thought it was that, but I'll be honest.
You should go to Pen Island, dude. It's all pens. It's like a whole website. You can just buy pens.
Are you a big pen collector? Wait, no. It hit me as I typed it. I was like, are you a big pen collector? That would surprise me.
That would have been the best content ever. That would have been, oh my gosh, it would have been. Oh.
Can you imagine your channel gets banned from the reflection in the glasses?
It's like penis land.
God,
I can't believe you started typing.
That was so good.
I thought, God, is he a pen collector? That's a really, like, I'm surprised this has never come up in our hours of conversations.
Louis, thank you for collecting 1 million dead TCGs so that you could make being a pen collector believable.
If you'll back Polywog, you'll definitely back pens.
All right. We will continue to follow this, I guess. I guess we have some Metazoo news to talk about.
I also think it's wild because, like, I thought they were going to become like a zombie indie, like every other indie has become.
I'm kind of glad they didn't, because
I'm proud of them.
I'm really looking forward to the day where I can wear a Metazoo shirt ironically, where it's
You can
just
do
like
that right now.
No, now is like the best time to. I should have worn my Metazoo shirt today. But like I literally saved all my Metazoo shirts being like, it's not really like my thing anymore. But like there's gonna be a day where it's
barcode language.
What are you looking at?
Duffont.com.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what do you think he's like? He's on Penn Island, man. He's browsing. He's picking his favorite.
Wow, that's a big island.
All right. Time for the magic content.
I like that. Valentine.
The Metazoo stuff's going to make the magic content seem so boring. That's why we usually do the magic content first to get the boring stuff out.
I talk less in the Metazoo in the magic section so people tune out.
George, I use a free font called Mouse Memoirs for all my Lorcana content.
That's great. See?
Yeah.
Lorcana's so good.
Fonts are a whole thing, man. Welcome to the world.
Okay. Josh, how you feeling about Murders at Karlov Manor?
I'll get the coffee.
It depends on the day.
Mansion to 1K.
No.
Definitely not.
No. It's not going to. Ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, Bluebird.
The set's not going to 1K.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. I don't know. The play booster is propped up by the sponsor of this podcast. Shout out MVP Sports and Games.
Oh, they still have them?
No, but it's just the number of sales is 100% propped up by that. The commander decks are starting to pick up. The
reprints in the commander decks are
nutty.
Hot.
This
is the first time as a store I am increasing the price of 2 of the precons before pre-release. Usually I'm like, no, I want to be a good store owner. I want my customers to like, not feel like be able to get it. I had pre-orders up, if they bought one at $45, they're getting it at $45. But when all of a sudden everybody bought out all the 2 good ones because of the reprints and like
the
what happens
in Deep Blue Sea or whatever.
Yeah. What happens as a store is you have to buy all 4 at the same time. So you end up with like 1,000 of the 2 decks and you make 0 money and you just have these decks that you have to like get rid of. So if you increase the price on it, it kind of scales out. So I had to do that with this, but
sure. But that's all of that seems great. Those are gonna, I wouldn't be surprised to see those like commander decks as a whole be the leading product here. You know what the terrifying product is? It's the collector booster box.
Why is it terrifying?
Nobody wants this thing. Nobody's buying the collector booster box. And maybe it's the play booster and everyone wants to experience it for the first time. Maybe it's because the price gap between the play booster and the collector booster box, not very big. So what am I going to get? A ton of packs or 12 packs? Like, I don't know, but collector booster box is flopping.
Yeah. I think I could probably weigh in on why I think that is. The most expensive cards in the set are not very expensive. Yeah. And like if you're buying a $225 box, how do you get any value back? Like it's like the invisible ink card's the number 1 card. So you get about 1 invisible ink or 1 special guest card per box. That's kind of been my average. I've only opened like 10 boxes, but I've only had 1 box that got both of them.
Sure.
And the highest value of the invisible ink is $74 right now.
Oh, that's the one you have to pee on it to see what it says, right?
Yeah.
They actually look way cooler in person.
You have to take it to a questionable ABC hotel setting to put it under the lights and see what it says.
They should have used a font from defont.com for that setting.
They probably did.
Yeah, they probably
realistically.
Wait, is it AI generated?
It would look better if it was.
That's true. Does it not look good?
People are saying they look cool.
Yeah, the invisible ink side of it looks cooler in person than it does on any images. Yeah. It's really hard as a content creator. I've like tried to show it off. It doesn't work on camera, but it's kind of cool in person. but like the non-invisible ink cards, the highest value from the main set is $24 right now. This is a week before. This is 2 days before pre-release and a week before actual release. Not great.
It's not Pokemon bad. It's not good though.
No, it's
Nothing can be Pokemon bad.
it's giving shades of my boy.
Yeah.
And it's more than and it's more than just the most expensive card isn't that expensive.
What do you think it is?
This set's got a ton of playable cards in it. A ton. The uncommon slot is nuts, but
Oh my God.
nothing that holds real value.
All right. I'm gonna say it. Uncommons are a total scam.
They're
Uncommons and commons should be the same thing. They should just be called worthless cards.
You can't do that because of draft.
Up a beanstalk would like a word.
You can't do that because of draft, and uncommons are.
There's no draft boxes anymore, so don't worry about it.
Well, like you're still drafting.
Like
Who
uncommons,
Who hurt
commons,
you?
scam.
Yeah, that's
could be
like a
combined.
terrible. That's a terrible take.
It's a great take.
Show me where the play booster beat you up. What playground did the play booster meet
Play
you
booster
and
also
beat
a
you
scam.
up in?
I can't wait till the play booster works, and we can talk about it on the
Ain't gonna
podcast.
work. I will say distro seems to be running low on product. I will say that.
Yeah, it's pre-release weekend though. We'll see what happens like next week, right? Like that's the real question.
Nope. Only up, baby. They're out. They're gonna say out. It'll never be reprinted again.
I will say I think there's two things going for the set. Number one, the cards are actually like there are cards that are actually pretty good, and I do think there will be some sleepers. Like I think some of the cards that are selling.
There's insane cards.
Yeah, I think some of the cards that are selling right now on TCG Player for $15 to $20 have a potential to become like much higher value cards. It just kind of depends on what gets seen, like what sees actual play in different places, and it's going to take a long time for people to figure that out because the cards are basically books. Like there's so much text on these cards, it's unbelievable.
It's so bad. Oh, the commanderification of every single card is insane.
And that goes to point two, which is that the commander set, you can't get it in the play boosters.
Mm-hmm.
And so like do you know what the pull rates were in set boxes for commander cards?
Too damn high.
Was it?
It felt like there was a ton of them in there. It felt like there was just a metric boatload of cards that had no meaning to me every time I opened one of those things.
No, but I mean like from the commander set.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I don't remember. I think it was a minimum of one per pack.
Yeah. So like I think that there's a world here where we see some of the commander cards increase in value because the pull rate, you get one per pack, one commander card per pack, I think, in each collector pack. And then you get the commander cards in the commander decks. And like that supply isn't as much as like so much coming out of the set booster boxes that don't exist anymore. And so a lot of the value in the collector box, I anticipate that they think is in the commander cards, and that's going to be really interesting to watch. But who knows what the market will actually do.
Hey, listen, this is having a crazy effect on set booster boxes. And I think because most of the community equates the play booster box to a set booster box, old set booster boxes in the last week and a half have been coming up in price.
Really?
Yeah. Old set booster boxes are coming up, 2, 3, 4, 5, one went up $10 in price. Like it's like, oh, if I'm going to spend this much money, I'm just going to crack a bunch of packs. I can get this cheaper and crack a bunch of packs. And as we said, there's commander playable cards in those set boosters too. So it's crazy to see what the price of this product is doing to like our perspective on Magic product. My big gripe is still there's not enough meat on the bone for the game store. That's been my gripe since I've been talking about Magic. It's once I started talking to you guys, partners on the channel, things, how little meat there is on the bone for the game that's supposed to keep up your whole business.
That's why Altered's coming for him. Coming for him.
You have to do it in such massive numbers.
Yeah.
Like you have
Thank
to.
God for Altered.
Well, yeah, I mean, online,
and non world.
I think like from a store, and I struggled with this when I first started the store because like I didn't have the community, but my community has started pre-ordering more product and like spending more money on boxes because my community has grown. And I think I'm learning it's less about the online, like TCG Player becomes a place to like get some of your capital back rather than like trying to make profit. But yeah,
Right.
it's ugly, especially compared to other card games, like where you can make $4 or $5 a box on TCG Player, and this
Yeah,
is
but
like losing.
Make no mistake. Just because you're not paying TCG Player fees, your customers are, you have a dedicated customer base, but you are losing customers when you sell at a significantly higher margin than TCG Player. Somebody somewhere will be, and that's what I'm talking about. It's not that TCG Player runs the whole business. It's not that every sale flows through that platform. It's game stores across the country have to get closer and closer to that price range. It has to happen. And I'm going to throw it to George because Buddy's got a scoopy.
Nope. It's about Metazoo. We're not going back.
No, let's go back, baby. Who cares? Let's go. Go back.
All right. To say this is a rumor is to overstate my confidence.
Oh, never mind. I thought you had a real thing.
We get banned again. Step up. Get Louis some views.
Somebody has claimed, I'm guessing wildly and incorrectly, that Shaw, the COO, is the one leaking the 8chan.
That makes sense. I told you, dude, 8chan's the best place for content.
It was me. I sent that text message.
The 36chan might be... the 36chan might be strong with this one.
Okay. That wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be.
If that's true, that's wild.
I don't know.
That's true.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. That's a pretty crazy.
That's true, right?
I don't think so.
Right?
But it would be a very Metazoo thing for it to be.
It'd be so perfect.
It would be, yeah.
Okay.
What world we live in?
This is going to be wild. Happy release day, everybody.
This is why Magic is boring. You want this stuff? I want your COO posting stuff to 16chan. That's how you get my attention.
That's Mark Rosewater's aunt. She's posted on Reddit.
Magic.
Magic. I want her posting 8chan. I want her quoting 90s rock lyrics. Give me that spice.
Magic rug pulls you too. They give you, $1,000 box of 4 packs that aren't real cards that they trick you into buying. Like, that's a thing.
At least when Magic rug pulls you, you know what's happening. It doesn't surprise you. Like, they don't have to hide anymore. They've just been rug pulling everybody for so long that, like, it works.
I bet I could spit in this box. You'll buy it.
Podcast title. TCGs are all rug pulls. All right. This is gonna be an interesting release weekend. I'm excited to see the cards in play. It's really hard. This set was weird for me on spoiler season because it's really hard to envision what the cards do because there's so much text. But
there are cards that are going straight into Modern. There are cards that are going straight into Pioneer. Like Commander is obviously, there's so many textbooks out there that I'm sure are good in Commander that I'm not willing to read because they cost $9 and not playable in real Magic. So what do I care? But this set's going to have just a ton of playable cards and be worth absolutely nothing. It's going to be nuts.
So why do you think it's going to be worth nothing as a result of, like, why do those two things connect?
It's because it's the price. It's 100% the price of the box. We're put off by the price of the box. I mean, heck, look at the Play Booster box. The Play Booster box went on sale for a day and a half at $12 cheaper than it is right now, or whatever it is. And it's sold thousands of boxes in the snap of a finger, and it had sold nothing beforehand and nothing after. We have said with bass in our voice what we're willing to pay for this product, what we want to pay for this box. It takes something exceptional to push us beyond that point. It takes a Lord of the Rings. It takes something like that. I mean, heck, we showed it with Commander Masters. Hey, here's a Masters product with the most popular Magic format ever, with tons of value in the reprints, a boatload of stuff everyone wants to play. And we said, we won't pay it. We won't. Once it tanks, we'll buy it, but we won't pay it. And we're just going to see that all over again.
Interesting.
Thank you.
I don't know if I just can't tell if I agree with it or not. Like, I don't know what if the cards are good, it causes people to buy the singles and that props up the value of the set. I think it
doesn't. It's Streets of New Capenna is all over. Like, the land cycle in Streets is in every Commander deck. There's a land from Streets of New Capenna.
Isn't that just it?
There's Ledger Shredder came out of Streets of New Capenna. Leyline Binding came out of Streets of New Capenna. Those cards aren't worth much because the rest of the set, well, it was released in a weird Magic time, but it had another issue. It was vastly overprinted and then dumped on Amazon. And we've now said, if that's the price of the product, we remember $90 collector boxes, we're not going to pay more, especially if you're a Commander player. You don't have to buy those cards to play in your deck. You want to, but you don't have to.
Right. Yeah, everything's gilded foil. I guess just the land cycle is like $15. Below that,
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now. Just
It's shades of exactly this product. The
some of the
highest
gilded
normal
foil,
cards are like $15.
yeah, some of the gilded foils would be the same as the invisible inks,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Yeah.
it's like $10.
Yeah.
Man, Ob Nicholas, that $100 foil etched
The
card,
etched,
$9. $9.
rough day.
That's wild.
Rough day at the office.
Rough day. That was a rough one. All right, it'll be interesting. I don't know. We'll see what happens. All right, let's move on. Wubby, pay money. Wubby,
Wubby Dubby.
new
Friend of
amazing.
the podcast.
Is that
Come
true?
on next week. Yeah, we got him on next week, George.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's replacing whatever the Paul was that Rug pulled.
Love
Oh
it.
my god, what if he buys Metazoo? What a match
Oh my
made in
God,
heaven.
please have it.
What
Please.
You already own Crypto Zoo?
Make it happen. Somebody
That would get me out. That would do it. That would do it for
you know
me.
what?
I'm
Mike,
a matchmaker.
Mike, if you're still watching, please.
He is 100% watching this episode.
He might not be
Is that
watching now. Somebody send this clip to Mike.
Is
Mike,
that the other hate walker?
please sell to Logan Paul to wrap up this entire pyramid scheme. Please sell to Logan Paul. Just help it come together.
Here's the plot twist. Logan Paul makes Metazoo wildly successful, uses the profits to pay off the Crypto Zoo people.
Yeah.
Everyone's
That's-
happy.
Just when I thought the NFTs from Metazoo were dead, he goes and sells to Logan Paul and makes them completely and utterly toxic.
Well, your Metazoo coin's gonna hatch into a Metazooer.
Oh my God, you have a full set still, don't you?
Oh yeah, full set. So almost all the Neo Genesis. Dude, do you remember when I traded you Genesis NFTs, Metazoo Genesis NFTs for like $20,000 worth of cards? How's that feeling?
I sold some of them, so I feel all right. I think I sold half of them.
Oh, those NFTs, they could have been so cool.
Could have been so cool.
That's
my point. Is that like
Yeah.
it was just an execution problem?
Dude, oh my gosh. What a mess.
I have Metazoo NFTs because of Louis. That was the beginning of our friendship.
Listen,
It might also be the end.
you never redeemed any of the stuff either. That's the worst part.
Hold on.
This is fair. Everything following this is now fair. This
The
is fair.
agreement for me buying them was, no, man, I'll tell you every time. I'll personally reach out every time there's something, because I said I won't follow it. I'm not in the Discords. I'm not plugged in. I'll personally reach out. You'll never miss anything. And every time I miss something, I text him and go, hey, man, what happened? He goes, you got to follow along. You got to be ready.
God, I can 100% hear this conversation.
That's
I can
pretty true.
1,000% hear this conversation.
That's pretty true. A couple of other things happened there, but that is mostly a factual statement. One of the other things that happened is like all of a sudden everything costs money, and like Josh didn't want to pay the extra money. It's like, wait, I'm not paying money for Metazoo stuff. Like you would have paid $100 for a Metazoo box that had an NFT sticker on it. I know that because I bought 12 of them.
And then promptly tried to sell them to me.
No, I didn't. I didn't try to sell them to you.
Yeah, but I get to embellish too a little bit.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So Wubby, Pay Money Wubby, has opened 2 fake unlimited starter decks.
So, remind me again who Wubby is.
Well, he used to be
Very
Metazoo.
popular
He
streamer.
had a
that
Metazoo
true?
promo for the record.
That's the guy that had that promo.
Yeah,
That's the green promo guy.
Yeah. Yeah. this
That
open
really
deck.
pissed me off.
So he he started doing a Monday morning. Is it Monday morning, Josh Magic? Is that what he's doing?
It's just on Monday. I don't know what time.
Yeah, like a Monday Magic stream. And he like a couple months ago we talked about it on the podcast actually. He opened a fake unlimited starter deck, and then like 2 weeks ago he got another one, and it was also fake. And so a couple days ago he revealed who the deck came from, and guess who it was?
Card Kingdom.
Card Kingdom, baby.
Nailed it.
Card
You read the
Kingdom.
show notes? Good for you, dude.
George, what do you have to say about that?
I think I almost bought that deck.
Yeah.
I think it was their booth. I was at the card show, the national, and I think they had unlimited decks there, and I think I almost bought one.
It's crazy.
Like I could have been the Pay Money Wubby of Metazoo with you.
Well, you would have never opened it. And
No.
this is what I want to talk about. How many fake vintage
80%.
Magic decks are just floating
80?
around?
Maybe 90?
So
Wow.
on Pawn Stars a couple weeks ago,
Where Metazoo will be on this season, apparently.
God, everything just revolved.
I can hardly... Okay, let's talk about that for a second. Who will be their expert and what will they offer?
Who will what?
Who will be their expert and what will they offer?
Why won't you be the expert?
I'm available. I'm available.
Speaking of Pawn Stars, shout out to my favorite part of the Death of Metazoo community this week, which was Tanner posting on the Discord.
Yes, Tanner does deserve a shout out.
Shout out to Cryptic. Tanner posting the Metazoo Frogman captured artwork on the day that Mike posted. It's the best.
TCGs are the best.
It's the best beef. And both of these games are supposedly going to be on Pawn Stars. So who will be first, Metazoo or Cryptic?
Well, like Chun-Li pumps Cryptic still.
Yeah, not on Pawn Stars though. When is it going to happen on Pawn Stars?
I don't think that's going to happen.
Anyway, so on Pawn Stars, this is what's going to have to happen with all these decks. On Pawn Stars,
They all have to line up at gold and silver pawn.
On Pawn Stars, Chumley bought a beta deck.
Oh, I saw this.
And in order to buy it, he said basically to the buyer, I will buy it, but I'm going to open it. We'll agree upon the price. And if it's real, then I'll pay you the money. If it's not real, I'm not going to pay you the money for it. He opens the beta deck and it was real. And I think he pulled an Ancestral Recall.
Because like the deal was also like they split Power 9.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Wait, was it Ancestral Power 9?
I don't know that was the deal because the guy was disappointed.
They split. They split the Lotus. They split some kind of card. It was like
maybe it was a
Lotus. It was something.
Yeah, I think he pulled the Ancestral Recall, if I recall correctly.
He did.
Somebody? No one's gonna.
Yeah.
Comment section, get me on that one. I deserve it. And
You deserve a lot. That's not one of them.
And so now the question is, if you're gonna buy any of these decks, do you just have to come to that agreement? Like, is there no sealed premium to a Magic starter deck or maybe even sealed product if nobody, including Card Kingdom, can authenticate it?
Well,
we need them to be filled with G.I. Joe cards.
Yeah.
Here's the twist. How many of these services are like, yeah, this is a 100% authenticated sealed beta deck, but it's never really been an issue because people weren't opening them. So the certification was like, yeah, it looks good, bro. Like,
I don't think
that
was a certification.
You could tell me a story where it's just a guy who's been around for a long time looks at it and goes, that's what it looks like when I bought one.
Were you not here for the Logan Paul scam when he actually got scammed instead of doing the scamming?
I think these processes, these certification processes, and people who are going to sell you products and say we guarantee that game is going to be stepped up. This is going to shine a ton of light on that.
Rattlesnake 15 seconds to realize that case was fake.
Yeah. So this is like somebody made a comment about if anybody else would have bought in this deck. If it wasn't Pay Money Wubby and he wasn't live streaming it, if anybody else bought it, they would have just been out the thousands. I don't remember how much it cost, but thousands and thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars would have been just out of it because there's no way to prove that was the deck that Card Kingdom sent and blah blah blah.
So what I think you will see is a lot more of provenance mattering.
Yeah.
Like I think that will be the big thing. We'll be like, tell me where you got it from, tell me where it came from. I want to track this pack.
Yeah.
I think
this is the value of NFTs in the blockchain. This is the value.
Shout out to Mike. Shout out to Mike.
This right here. All the other crap that people says NFTs and the blockchain. No, this is real value that no one's using it for, but it's real value.
Oh, there's some companies that are doing this with like Pokemon cards where you own the card. It's in one of the eBay vaults and it's part of the NFT, and you can buy the NFT that owns the card in the eBay.
And if you
vault.
can do with Pokemon cards, you can do with cards that are valuable too.
That people want to buy.
So okay, let's get off NFTs because it's gonna piss everybody off. But back to
this podcast.
Why? Because one person finally proposed real value to NFTs.
This podcast will piss a lot of people off. I can assure you.
As somebody who owns countless valueless NFTs because of Louis, this is real value.
You own one. I have
No, I think I own 2.
50 Metazoo NFTs right now.
You own the full set.
Full, yeah.
You're one of the 50.
Yeah.
They're probably
kinda
less
cool.
than 50 now.
That's kind of cool.
I
That's
wonder
kinda
what,
cool.
I wonder what would you sell me this full set for right now?
$1,000.
You nothing. You can't.
$1,000. That might be worth it.
I will trade
Wait,
you
really?
for for 6 Kickstarter boxes.
No.
I
Kickstarter
thought
boxes are still like almost $600.
They are one sold yesterday for $200.
No, it did not.
It did.
Kickstarter did not sell for 200.
It did.
George, you're wrong. Coming down
I'm
quick.
not.
Bud.
Send me the link.
It sold for $200.
It did not.
Also,
Send me the
down
link.
quick.
Also, the amount of fakes is ridiculous right now for Metazoo on the.
But not boxes, only singles.
Well, there's like also some extra boxes. Anyway, there's a lot of Kickstarter boxes floating around there right now.
No, I mean, like, I
And
imagine
on
like,
the
you're trying to
topic
get out.
of fake boxes, what do you think that pay money while we opening these fake boosters does to the vintage Magic community?
Not great.
I mean, the boxes disappear fast. So here's what I think really affects value is you're gonna have people who have like a brick. Like let's pretend Rudy, right?
Bingo.
He's got a brick
Bingo.
and he says it's a real brick, and you trust Rudy. The provenance, whatever it is, that's gonna matter is Rudy's gonna do a live stream, or somebody like Rudy's gonna do a live stream. I don't know if Rudy knows how to do a live stream. He's gonna do a live stream. He's gonna sell those bricks, and they're gonna put them in one of those little cases. He's gonna put a little void sticker on it, and that's gonna become the like. Those are gonna be worth a ton of money because they're double sealed, and you know, that's gonna be a huge thing. And that
Open boosters did that with what revised packs, right?
Yeah, yeah. This has been a thing that they've done a couple times. I don't think they did it with beta packs. They may have done it with an unlimited box at one point, if I recall.
Did they? Dang.
Yeah, I think so.
Sorry, go ahead.
But and like graded packs, that kind of thing. Like I don't know if PSA BGS grade decks, like the sealed starter decks, but
It'd be a good way to get it authenticated. Imagine if PSA, like if I bought one from PSA and broke it open and it wasn't, I'd be, ugh.
the question is, can PSA really truly authenticate them? Again, if Card Kingdom can't, like, I don't know, man. This is a wild thing for vintage.
I think
Magic.
you have a much higher opinion of card. I really, nobody's ever called him on it. If I'm a company, why am I putting a bunch of resources towards and what? How many beta decks or revised decks or whatever am I selling a year? 3? Like, I'm not putting a ton of resources to the guy that can authenticate and certify that deck when I call him into the office 3 times a year. Like,
yeah, but you wish you did. You wish you did now, because if I'm buying vintage Magic, I'm certainly not buying it from Card Kingdom after.
Sure, but I lose the $12,000. But like I lose the $12,000, but I didn't pay him his salary the whole year. So like,
yeah, that's fair.
Got that going for me. Like, yeah. I think you're overestimating Card Kingdom's like, oh my god, this is terrible. Like, nah, okay, people will still buy millions of regular Magic cards from us, I guess.
Yeah. George, were you gonna say something?
I'm trying to remember that kind of larger YouTube guy's name that sounds like Pay Money Wubby, but Boogie?
Oh, the guy that went, the not so great guy. Yeah, I think he's not. Yeah, Boogie something.
I don't know.
I thought that was the guy that we were talking about, but I don't think it is.
No, it's not him. This guy is, everything seems like a decent person and like a good streamer.
I love his energy I love his streams. They're fun.
Is he good?
Yeah, he's good. He's welcome on the podcast.
I'm afraid of
he's
saying someone's a good stream. Yeah. Oh,
will you insult him on the podcast, or is that reserved for Josh?
Of course, that's what we do on the podcast. That's the podcast.
Louis,
we insult each other.
Louis would get on hands and knees to get on that channel. Okay.
No, I would not. We insult each other. That's what we do on the podcast. That's the fun.
Whatever, you got to tell yourself, bud.
All right. Speaking of things that are for sale, like our
Pay
podcast.
Money Wubby. Oh my god, he's big.
That's very insensitive, George.
Not
That's
bad,
really
like popular. He has 1 million
really
followers.
Yeah. That's why he's coming on the podcast.
Yeah. To grow his audience.
Yeah.
Okay. Why do we do this?
Yeah,
Oh, he does video games. That's
Well,
why he has subscribers.
Yeah, it's a real.
Okay. He does stuff that people actually care about.
Yeah,
That's why he has subscribers.
we didn't teach George very well. Just on Mondays he does it, and when he does it, he like apologizes for it. He's like,
yeah,
sorry guys.
He apologizes profusely to his audience and his numbers. He's segmented the content out to a standalone YouTube channel for the Magic stuff because he's like, I don't want to crush what I have going on.
That's the big brain play.
Yeah,
it's like what I did with D&D TCGs. It's great, except without the success, you know.
Okay. Speaking of things that are unsuccessful, Hasbro has
put podcast.
Hasbro. There's an article, originally a Chinese article that has been what's the word? Translated to English by Pan Daily. So this is our sources on this, everybody. But that Hasbro is seeking to sell IP D&D and has preliminary contact with Tencent, who is the majority owner of the company that made Baldur's Gate 3, the video game. Did I do enough research for that? Is that accurate, George?
You did great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm still on paid money wubby.
I had to see if I have to disclose this. At one point, I don't know if it's anymore, I owned a good amount of Tencent stock. Before we have this conversation, how much do I have to disclose? As a shareholder, this is what I believe.
Might want to sell it. They're in business with Hasbro.
No, they're in business with D&D. They had the best game ever.
So when I read through the article, I did a little bit more research. It seems like
Pay Money Wubby's wild, by the way.
Yeah.
His videos are wild.
That's why he's invited on the podcast.
Welcome.
His videos are wild.
Yeah.
George, the delay that you operate on is hilarious to me. It's
I don't know these people. I'm not in the content game.
Not gonna lie,
like
I also didn't know who Pay Money Wubby was until he made Magic content. So
oh, I'm not claiming I knew who he was before I saw his first Magic video, but I've been up to speed now for a couple weeks, George. Get with it.
Yeah.
Why would I be up to speed on Pay Money Wubby?
Because he's opening old Magic.
That definitely is not how you get George to view your channel.
I'm sure he's playing StarCraft.
Back to Hasbro selling D&D. The comment sections on a lot of the articles and posts of this
8chan and comment section. Your sources for Metazoo be with you.
Well, let's just go the Reddit comment sections.
Even better.
They are taking the context and basically saying it's just the IP rights that they're trying to buy.
What else would they try to buy?
Like that they're not trying to like make D&D books and do that kind of thing. They're not trying to
so
own.
They could make a D&D board game. They could make a D&D t-shirt. They could yeah.
Essentially what it feels like, and George, correct me if I'm wrong, you also read the article, so you can disagree with the Redditors, but essentially what it seems like in their
article
in their opinion is that they are trying to buy the rights so that Hasbro wouldn't get any of the profits from
they own it.
The video games.
Right.
Which basically to me translates to there's no money in D&D, so they just want the video game rights to make Baldur's Gate 4 and not have to pay Hasbro any of that.
The future is digital. This is this is not hard. This is not, and maybe like, it is amazing that TCG people, how am I the youngest person in spirit in the TCG world? The future is digital. All this crap is going to zero if it's cardboard. The future is digital.
How do you say that, but you're also Metazoo is not dead? I just don't understand you. You're so
because Metazoo has NFTs. What do you mean?
George, you're such an onion. We just got to keep peeling you back week to week.
There ain't a lot in the middle.
I know.
I'm still on also DeFont, I'll be honest with you. I've learned a lot this. You know what? Shout out to Louis this week. I've learned a lot on this podcast this week. I learned about Pay Money Wubby. I learned you taught me nothing about Pay Money Wubby, Josh.
We talked about nothing new this week. This is all stuff we've already talked about. You should have
Pay Money Wubby before.
Yeah, like multiple times.
Shout out to Pay Money Wubby. I know you never talked about DeFont. I would remember DeFont.
All right, so back to Hasbro. I think though that maybe Hasbro missed their shot. there's a whole conversation. I went into a pretty deep dive on this. I don't know if you guys saw my comment to you two when you posted it.
I did.
But I was like, oh my God, this is giant news. So I did a pretty big deep dive on this. Hasbro fired in their 1,000-person layoff the entire team that the CEO of the Baldur's Gate team, which was the other company, had communication with. The CEO kind of commented on one of the things or made a post or whatever about one of the things that was like, there's almost nobody left in the team that was working with them from Hasbro's side. So Hasbro was essentially like, we're done with this. It's over. Now do you want to buy it?
That's not super untrue, or that's not super uncommon, especially in the digital game space. If you work in the digital game space, your work cycle is very much work very hard, produce the product, support that product. Not much needed. And also, when we need to make the next one, we'll rehire you. So it's very common to lay off massive portions of that staff, developers, architects, support staff, communications personnel. So I'm not saying that's not what you're saying didn't happen. I'm just saying tread lightly, because it very well could have been a case of, we're not going to make another Baldur's Gate game until end of this year. We'll rehire at that point.
That makes sense.
So that's just how those, like, the development and tech space works when it's a project that has a release and doesn't take much support.
That's really good insight.
Now, you want better insight from a 10-cent stockholder, from a 10-cent
you still own 10
share.
cents?
Well, no, I own stock in the company. 10 cent.
Oh,
now they are known for mobile games. They're one of those companies, they produce 100,000 mobile games. Like, they have 1 million of them out there.
This episode is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
Is the D&D mobile game on its way? Is that what they're trying to do here? Are they trying to capitalize and put the D&D mobile game together? Not like D&D like we play with our friends, but like a Baldur's Gate style.
Maybe. I mean,
that's the hot take. That's where they're going with it.
Sorry, but isn't it just too late for that stuff?
Wow, how's it also way down?
Haven't all those mobile games just basically been created, and like the ones that are going to be successful are successful?
Well, but that's what gets you to stand.
Do not let him get away with this nonsense.
Hold on,
there are new games that will be created that will be successful. It is not.
But what gets you to stand out? Mobile games are popular. There's 1 trillion of them now. It's a much more flooded marketplace. But what gets you to stand out when you go to the App Store? Generic shooter fighting game or Dungeons and Dragons, the mobile game? Like, that's going to get way more downloads than whatever Instagram game that you watch that's scrolling through your feed.
I'm trying to find, games is like the giant button. Minecraft, Raid Shadow. These are the top games right now. Minecraft, Raid Shadow Legends.
Brands you're familiar with.
Right. Like, they've been the same games for 10 years. Minecraft's 20. I played Minecraft in college. Like, it's 20 years old.
But it wasn't. Yes, and D&D is a very old game, but hasn't always been a mobile game, much like Minecraft.
Yeah, I don't know. This is neither here nor there. But okay, so what happens?
It tells you why they're interested, right?
What happens when Hasbro sells D&D? What happens?
I mean,
is this, you guys really think this is just the rights, or do you think they actually sell like the entire brand of D&D?
That would be crazy. If they
do sell nothing, I think they need, like, they're selling the wrong thing as they're selling this. They need to sell everything that's not in Hasbro. Yeah.
Not in WotC?
WotC, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They need to hold on to the only thing making them money. I would like if Hasbro sold Wizards of the Coast. That'd be great for me as a Magic fan. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
From a business perspective, they have no incentive to sell the only thing generating them revenue.
And from a purchase perspective, you would just buy Hasbro, right? Like, if you're buying Wizard of the Coast, you'd probably just be like, hey, here's $10 and I have Hasbro too.
Okay, you throw the rest of it in the back of my truck. I'll take it with me.
This is where Rudy could get interesting. He just bring back Altifox.
Now, okay, but if you sell the rights to D&D, Hasbro
stop. I got it.
values.
Rudy can buy Metazoo, Bring back Altafox, Dungeons and Metazoo.
I think Cryptic just did
Synergy.
that, didn't they?
Synergy. Boom. You got synergized.
Synergize. Okay.
Where you at? Where you
Corporate
at?
structuring, synergy.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm disappointed in this segment. This was not as speculative and
You
YOLO as I
offered
wanted it to
no takes of your own. You just asked
I
questions
did.
and sat back and did nothing.
be. That's fair.
Welcome to May This Be With You.
I told you, I gave you insight as to why they would want to buy it.
Yeah.
Like legitimate insight based on what the company does.
I learned last week during my One Piece section, Josh, Louis doesn't like facts or knowledge. He will then just steal the topic the next week and say it was a great idea.
What did I do that?
Were you about to talk about the One Piece disaster of the tournament this week, I'm guessing?
Nope, that's not our One Piece section.
I'll bet you gets brought up.
What?
Yep.
It was pretty bad.
Bingo.
It was
Worst
pretty
of all
horrible.
time.
Bingo, bango, bongo.
All right, real quick sorcery segment. Shout out to the Winning Agenda who just got hired on sorcery staff. They hired
Who's the winning agenda?
oh man, I just
Sorcery's
forgot his
newest,
name.
biggest
I had
content
it in my
creator.
head. I just forgot his name live on the podcast. Jesse from the Winning Agenda. So congrats to that. That's
Who's
really
winning
cool.
agenda? Jesse. Okay.
Oh,
let me ask-
he's a content creator for sorcery, and they just hired him to make sorcery content for sorcery. It's kind of cool.
Kyle, pay money, Wubby.
They can't afford pay money, Wubby. That's
Is that true?
100%.
What are you talking about? They're not an indie TCG. They're backed by a major game manufacturer.
So
I've learned
shout
this.
out to that and the other sorcery stuff. Oh, the rule book. We're not going to get really that much into the rule book.
What?
But-
No, this was my favorite topic you ever proposed.
You
I
wouldn't know
proposed
what you
a
think is in the rule
20
book.
paragraph diatribe
I
about
copied
getting
and
into the
pasted
rule
it
book.
because I knew
Novel.
you guys want to. I copy and
You
pasted
copied
it.
and pasted the rule book?
Yeah, because I knew you guys wouldn't read it. I copied
You
and pasted
sent
the
us
rule
a
changes.
novel about the change in format on the rule book.
The formatting is a lot better. It is way better.
You mocked me last week for talking about a major tournament in One Piece and the prizing, and now we're talking about the formatting of a
major
rule book.
tournament that they ran so poorly.
I didn't say it was going to go smooth. I said it was good content.
It wasn't good.
It's
content.
better. It's better content now that it went really poorly.
Yeah,
But,
you're
that's a
welcome.
consolation.
The fact
Welcome,
that you
One
were-
Piece.
The fact that you were so wrong is
I was
agree
so
with that.
right.
What is that? Oh, I thought it was
Fifth
a
edition.
starter deck. I thought you were holding
No,
up an
it's-
unlimited starter deck.
It's a 5th edition rule book. How's this format? You want?
Pretty good.
Hold on. Louis'
Are you gonna
content.
eat it?
Welcome to Magic the Gathering. 1. Object of the game. Also,
What
1.
font did they
Summary
use?
of play. Rulebook. I don't know, but you can probably get it at defont.com.
New sponsor alert. New sponsor alert.
Louis paid $5 for the content. They pay $5 to sponsor the podcast.
Got my money back from the stupid Metazoo crap.
More about permanence. This is more entertaining than Kitchen Table TCG. I'll be back. Go ahead.
They changed a bunch of the rules. They made it good. They made it better.
What were the changes?
So the moving to defend now, like, it interacts with your distance. So if your minion has movement +2, before you couldn't defend with that movement, but now you can. So it's more streamlined like that. Some changes to stealth.
And they have a big tournament coming up at Reaper Games at
Yes.
Bill's place.
Nope. I don't think it's that Reaper.
Oh.
Is that Bill? He
Oh,
owns
Bill.
Reaper Minis?
I think that's where he manages. I thought so.
Really?
I'll speculate.
I never put those two things together. The
99%.
store,
That's where it was before.
the store.
Reaper, so if you got I mean this, shout out that if y'all are in Texas, y'all should go to that tournament. Reaper Games is amazing.
It is Reaper Game Store. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reaper Games is one of the coolest playmats I'd ever seen. It was
Yeah.
pretty sweet.
Reaper is goated. Like if you're in Texas or anywhere near Texas, you should go to that tournament.
So Josh, they do have a playmat for this too.
This outlines global versus local enchantments. Wow.
So they've got a big event coming up at Reaper Game Store. And I don't know, I was with my kids when I was reading this article and I sent it to you guys. I got really confused when I was reading it.
That
Apparently,
follows.
I
You can't
apparently
read.
Yeah, apparently some game designers were right. I can't read.
Shout out.
They're gonna have some cool stuff. If you're in the Dallas, Texas area, go look up that. It is one of the articles. I don't see a date here on the article as I'm looking for it. But go check out the article. Oh, March 16th.
And plus-
it is the weekend after my event.
And plus, if you win Reapers, you don't have to go to Baltimore. That alone is the best prize of all.
It's not one of the Courtesan Cup qualifiers.
Like, that is the best prize. Is if you win, you get to stay near Buc-ee's and not go to Baltimore.
I'll tell you what, anybody who goes to my event and to the event at Reaper, I'll give you a pack while you're at my event. You know, it'll help your $5 for so go to both events. That's the point.
He's not saying sorcery. You're getting CN too.
That is a really cool playmat, and they've got shirts too.
Reaper is goated, 100% goated.
Playmats are super cool. They've got like a little thing there that does the mana values.
Reaper might be my favorite game store in the U.S.
That's makes sense. Shout out. All right, not a whole lot of other stuff to talk about with sorcery.
This rulebook has banding in it. Banding was still popular enough to be defined in the rulebook.
This is the best podcast we've ever done, and the worst.
All right, moving
It is
on.
the most podcast we've ever done, though.
Moving on.
This might be the only value we ever provide. Nobody knows how banding works. If we describe it right now, people might watch this
There is
episode.
a 0% chance Louis knows what banding does.
People might watch this episode if we outline how banding works.
Nobody
Look it up. Nobody knows how
0%
banding works. I'm offering you content.
Josh also doesn't know what banding does, and after reading the rule book, probably still won't know what banding does.
Don't get all salty because I can read.
All right, Kickstarters are back, baby. Big week in the.
How is your last indie you'll ever support doing of sorcery?
I
Did you kickstart any games this week, Louis?
I did not. I'm not.
Are you going to?
Maybe. Might be kickstarting Altered. I don't have a ton of plans on talking about Altered on the channel.
Just wait till the attendees are here.
But I mean, it seems like the podcast should talk about it.
Altered market update.
Yes.
George, did you back any?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. What did you back?
I'm back Altered, baby. And Stormgate.
What's Stormgate?
It's a RTS, real-time strategy video game.
Nom Nom got delayed till next Tuesday.
That's sad.
Man, I think they missed out. The Metazoo
news would have been a huge pump for Nom Nom.
That would have. I think they really missed out. Nom Nom.
Yeah, I do too. Actually,
kind of dropped the ball in my opinion.
Unless they're buying Metazoo.
Oh my god! Please make that happen. That would be amazing. They kickstart.
Yeah.
They kickstart, and it's Metazoo 2.0.
I'm just all in on a Metazoo 2.0. I'm so in.
They could be Metazoo 2.0, and they could put the Kickstarter goal, whatever the actual debt is.
Yeah.
That could be the Kickstarter goal, and like the community could crowdfund and save Metazoo, and you could be an owner of Metazoo if you kickstart the game. Listen, shout out to Nom Nom. Anyway, but Altered went out on.
We could hold off Altered until next week. We could have a full conversation about Altered.
I thought we were gonna have a full conversation.
It's late.
Aren't we like 4 hours into the podcast?
This is hour 25 of May the Zoo be with you.
I've got a bunch of notes here though.
Well, you can hit copy save.
All right, we'll just save it. It's wild. I was like all ready to talk about this.
Altered is the new most interesting TCG.
So they are backed by some really big. Shout out to you, George. You love games, TCGs that are backed by board game companies. And this team has done some really good board games.
They've done Dixit.
Yeah, Dixit's a great one. And then they also have some really interesting card stuff. Let's give a little spoiler to people who are like, what is Altered? And
I love that you can't handle that you did 5 minutes of research without getting to mention it this week.
Well, I wanted to talk about the card thing because I actually just wanted your guys' opinions on it before I back it. So I know you want to.
I will say, after reading it today, I'm a little less confident in my backing.
Yeah, so let's just real quick get into it, and then we can.
So you're going to get a digital code in your pack, and you can print unlimited amounts of cards with that code. You own basically you own a digital version of that card, and you can tell them, "I want this card," and they'll print it out for you.
How's that going to work for them as a company?
Foils don't exist. You can get a foiler or a foil,
like a foil token, and apply it to.
And then you can apply it to a card.
Yeah, and it's digital and in real life. So you own the digital card in the digital game that's online, and then you can also redeem that card for physical in real life.
I am skeptical of this. Because I don't like. Why won't every store go out and buy a full set and just sell them in their store if the game does well?
Like, why does that make you skeptical about it?
Because like, why will people keep buying boxes? They can just buy the cards that are LGS for 5 cents and a
That's fair.
good luck.
So I originally, when I saw this, somebody told me it was once a year you can redeem the card. And then the online one that somebody screenshotted and sent me, it doesn't say that. It says as many times as you like.
Yeah, I don't get this, to be honest.
So
It's
how does
super
it?
interesting,
Wait, you
though.
can redeem it as many times as you like. So if I open a card in a pack,
You're
I
not
can redeem.
redeeming it. You're printing out a digital version of your card.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
I'm printing out a digital or a paper version.
A
of
paper
my card?
version of your card. I'm sorry.
So, and then what has been told to me, again, I don't know any of the details.
8chan has said this.
No, somebody in our shout out to the Kitchen Table TCG Discord server. What has been said to me is
Except
that
for one person.
you can, if you don't own the rights to the card, you can't play with it in an official event. So you have to basically be able to prove that you own the rights to the card, which is wild.
What a terrible idea, if that's
Wait.
true.
Yeah.
Wait. How many? Wait.
Listen, I'm
What?
just saying the things I've heard. And then the
Is
other
every
thing,
card unique?
so this is the other thing. This is the bingo. So Josh, do you
This
ever
is the
play
bingo.
Destiny? This I actually love this. Not gonna lie, this is the thing that sold me on the game. And we'll move on and we'll talk about it next week. And I also haven't bought it yet, so it didn't sell it on me. But Josh, did you play Destiny?
No.
The video game. So in
No, I
Destiny,
saved my money.
in Destiny, you would kill this boss, you would kill this thing, and you would get the loot, right? And you get the gun, and it's like let's call it the battle rifle X5 3000, right? Each one of those guns had stats and had different numbers on the gun. And so
Yeah.
you could get one from the system and it have really good stability, but damage was lower. And I could get one that's like just packs a ton of damage and the stability is really bad. And you get all these different guns. Well, apparently, allegedly, maybe from people I've talked to, the cards are similar. They have different stats on them. So it's the same card, but you roll basically your stats like a D&D character when you get your card. And then so your unique card could be the only one with these 10 stats or whatever it is that works really good for your deck. And so I don't know. It's a cool.
It could, but it could this. No.
It's a lot. It's definitely a lot, but it's really interesting.
It
That's why I
feels so pay to win.
maybe. Yeah. I don't know. People, do your own research. Go look at it for yourself. But those are the things that we thought were interesting on it. Right.
That's.
All right.
I grow more and more skeptical the more we talk about it. I'm on the Kickstarter and I was looking at it, and I am looking further away from that window the more we talk about it.
The team behind it's pretty cool. The Kickstarter looks really, really well done too. But anyway, moving on. Let's go to One Piece reprints. So at George's event, the event that One Piece hosted that was in George's name, in his honor.
It was actually, I think it was in his house.
It's called it was basically ran as well as it would have been if it was in his house.
It was called One George.
It was called One George. They run this event. Complete.
He runs this event.
George. It would have been better if George was running the event.
It would have been way better if a company I'm a part of had run this event. That I can tell you. Tell you.
That's probably a fair assessment of this event. In fairness, couldn't have gone worse. Couldn't have gone worse.
They started the event.
This is what happens. You don't get in my DMs. This is what happens.
In the middle of round 7 at 8 p.m., they announced that they're playing all 11 rounds.
And at this point, the game had been delayed incredibly.
4 hours
Yes.
because they repaired like 3 times.
Bad
They-
software.
Hold on. They didn't just repair. They repaired after the players had sat down, shuffled up, and started playing. And then they repaired. They would be sitting playing the game, and there'd be an announcement, everyone stop playing, repair.
And on top of that, as if that was worse enough, the players who had buys in rounds 1 and 2 weren't awarded any of the points as wins for the buys. So they essentially started the tournament 0 and 2.
It is much like another game that we've talked about where the system just didn't make sense. It was
my gosh.
why it was so bad.
And so the whole community was just wild.
Bananas. Yeah.
There was tweets.
Well, the problem is like there's actual prizes for these things. Like there's actual money on the line here. Like this is not a dead indie TCG they call the others. This one's actually alive. And so like it's like Lorcana in that. And so like it is, you know, the prizes are worth actual money. Like there's actual things at stake here.
Yeah.
There was
like I tried to talk about last week when I was mocked.
Somebody said somebody tweeted. Oh, this is my favorite one. Considering dropping at 3 and 2, this is unreal. My niece's tea parties are running better this event.
That's really good.
There was legitimate, like, very high level Magic players tweeting, "Thank gosh I lost. I can be done. I can't make it. My breakers don't work. I lost, so I get to go home." There were people like, I felt like I was trapped because I would win, and my opponent would be like, "Oh, I get to be," and I'd be like, I have to stay. The prizes are worth money. I have to stay, but I don't want to stay.
Oh, so bad. But they did announce a couple things. One of the things they announced was reprints of all.
What was that, Louis? I missed it. What did you say? They announced what?
They also announced the new treasure rare in OP6, which is some ultimate rarity. As if the One Piece cards weren't rare enough already, they did a treasure rare.
So they announced reprints. We talked about the tournament. Go ahead and continue.
That's it. That's all I got. Reprints are gonna be wild. I saw somebody. Should I show the? I'm not allowed to show the treasure rare.
Why wouldn't you be?
I don't know. It might get edited. Yeah, I'm not gonna show it. I'll show it. This is the treasure rare, everybody.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Looks great.
Banana pants.
Boobs make me uncomfortable on the
is it on there? I don't see it. I can't see it. So I have no idea. Is it boobs?
It's boobs. Of course, it's One Piece. That's all.
Did you just hold on. Did you just say boobs make you uncomfortable after telling the audience last week you wish you were drinking breast milk? Because
God, I forgot. About that.
I don't follow. Where's the line, bud?
Because we make jokes on the podcast. It's what we do. It's a joke.
Where's what's it called?
Breast milk?
Jesus. Somebody get this man some help.
It's in the One Piece reprint section of our Discord. You are the most computer. It's at. You ready? Type this in. I'll tell you exactly where it go to. PEN.
No, I'm not doing this again. One Piece repeat.
I still can't. I can't believe that almost worked. If that would
so good.
If that would have worked, top 5 moment all time.
Anyway, that's the treasure rare. It's at the top, George. The second.
I can't see it. It's like 5 millimeters long.
It's awful.
Found the intro to the podcast.
That picture makes it 5 millimeters long. Huh,
found the intro to the podcast.
It's like
buddy.
this big on the screen. I can't see that. George, told me it was an elephant, I would have believed you.
Buddy, at least you're going to be immortalized in internet history.
Okay. So they announced that, and then they also announced that they're going to have previous boosters are going to be reprinted. So,
like, I think
the ones that they were never going to be able to do, Louis.
Yeah, the ones they weren't going to do. That right?
That's speculate. Yeah, I was wrong on this.
Of course you were.
I was wrong. That's speculate.
You mocked me for not having GTS distro. I've got GTS distro mainly to stop you from saying that BS on this.
What does that? What does that mean? What do we think will actually get reprinted?
Yes. Every booster box will eventually be reprinted. Nothing is out of print.
The question is, do they do it in a meaningful way? Right? Like we saw Lorcana reprints that were reprints, but not like meaningful. The question is,
yes, they will. The question is like,
what do you mean Lorcana reprints weren't meaningful?
We had 2 Lorcana reprints, and after the reprint, the booster box price went up. It wasn't until the meaningful reprint.
Oh, you're saying the ones that didn't affect it. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying now.
It's like someone mentions Lorcana, and you become like.
I thought you said we didn't see meaningful reprints in Lorcana.
Like if someone says the word Lorcana, you become into "they took our jobs" guy. Like it's just anything you can scream about. That doesn't make any sense.
It's amazing your hatred of the game that's succeeding. You're like allergic to success.
I don't hate it. It's great. It runs really well at our store.
You know,
it's amazing just so you know, how much you hate Lorcana for no reason.
You're running a fairly successful business now. We have seen what happens when people who run a fairly successful business won't make a phone call or be rational, but rather kick and scream like children. Don't be that.
Don't be that guy, Louis.
Don't be that. Don't be that.
You can call me anytime.
I just thought you were saying we didn't see a meaningful reprint for Lorcana. I was disagreeing with that. Now I know you were talking about the first 2 reprints.
He's not Donkey. He's saying that they were meaningful reprints and that they printed a lot of boxes, which lowered the price of.
No, hold on, George. Now you're kind. Hold on, George. Now you're kind of the donkey.
Yeah,
is that what you're saying? Is that now what you're saying?
You're both correct. You're both talking about. My whole point was we saw non-meaningful reprints that the price actually went up, but then we also saw meaningful reprints where the price went back down. So my question to you two bozos was, are these meaningful or not meaningful reprints?
Oh, they should be meaningful.
Like they got a lot of product to print then. They're going back, what, 7
5
sets?
sets? Let's chill. It's not Magic.
They have
buddy,
5 sets.
Buddy, 5 sets in a 4-set release per year model is a lot of reprinting to go back to.
They have 5 sets to go back to. They also have a billion failed games that they're still trying to make you take boxes of whenever you get those 5 sets. And additionally, they have their most anticipated game since One Piece and before Metazoo 2.0. Their most anticipated game coming out in like 6 months. So like, I don't know. My take is that see
Pokemon has plenty of printer space.
That would be great.
That's the partnership that we all need.
That would be so
good. They could also buy Metazoo.
What if Pokemon buys Metazoo?
God, I'm surprised Pokemon hasn't sued Metazoo.
Louis
isn't the GOAT.
I'd be here for it.
If Pokemon buys Metazoo, is Metazoo the GOAT?
How to handle
GOAT
this.
by association? GOAT by
like
GOAT.
It's on a bubble. It's on a bubble.
Louis, what does your brain do if Metazoo is bought by Pokemon? What happens in your head?
It's such a unrealistic thing.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah,
it's true. Yeah. I can't even comprehend.
It's more likely that Logan Paul buys Metazoo.
Absolutely.
That's like what I low-key want to happen. That's like the only way to wrap this all up. Like, it'd be the best story.
It'd be a story.
It'd be the best story.
It'd be the best story.
So I think that we're going to only see One Piece reprints in big box stores. We're going to see packs come out to Target and Walmart, and that's where you're going to see the reprints, not booster box cases at GTS through, or you want a better take. This goes in line with my rumor and my speculation that they're going to Southern and PhD, and these reprints will be going through.
All right. So basically your rumor is they will either reprint boxes or not reprint boxes. I agree with that take. I want you to know, Louis, I agree with that take. They will either reprint boxes or not.
Well, I actually think the realistic one is that they're just going to do blister packs. But the one I want to happen is reprints through Southern PhD, because that would just make my speculation on that.
Yeah.
It would make it so good.
That was good. That was good. I like that speculation. That was a good one. That was a good take.
Thank you. But I actually think it's just going to be big box. I don't think stores see packs, because the shenanigans just gets really ugly. Like, let's say they reprint OP1. What do you do with that as a store? It's a $450 box. Like, how do you?
It wouldn't be.
Well, yeah, likely it won't be.
Well, I don't know, man.
It goes back to the conversation: meaningful or not meaningful.
Did you trade 4 boxes of Chapter 1 for that?
No, I traded 4 boxes of Floodborn.
Also, it's still about even.
I wanted 1 box of OP1. If they reprint it and I lose my $400, oh no, it's cool.
Must be nice, bud.
Must be nice. When I look at this, flashing them dollars.
Okay, let's go to what are we ending with? Is this it? Is One Piece the
Lorcana? Lorcana.
What is? There's nothing to talk about Lorcana.
We got allocations. First set's going to 1K again.
What's first set at?
First set is going to 1K again.
$898, I think, at this point.
I wish.
First set is. I did not think the first chapter would recover as quickly as it did. I also didn't think it would continue to sell as many boxes as it does.
Of course it does. You know why?
It's crazy.
It's the same price it was last week. It's $187.
Let me be clear here. If a Pokemon box were 30% more than MSRP, you would never shut up about it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I know.
It's fair.
I know.
I mean, it's pretty. You said it's 187.
Mm-hmm. 190. Last sold is 187.
Sure, most available is 197. Or cheapest available
is 197.
It's we're recording this on the 31st of January, which is kind of perfect for this.
It is perfect.
The average price through the month of January for all products sold is $170, or for draft booster boxes sold in January. So it's up $17 from the average price of the month, and the average price the month before $161. So in December, so
it's double pumping.
It's headed back up. It's weird.
It's not weird. It's not weird.
It'll be interesting to see where this falls reprint wise. Like what this shows is definitely
they have to.
The Enchanteds are crazy. Somebody I know is working on like an EV calculation for this stuff.
Oh my! Is that somebody your right hand?
No.
Like, hello, I'm doing an EV calculator.
No, remember Louis wants to make Lorcana content now.
Well, only on his channel though.
Yeah. Don't forget. He actually wants to make Lorcana content now.
And so the EV of
who could have foreseen this?
The EV of where is it?
God, I love that you're back doing EV calculations.
It's not me. First chapter box.
You're using them for content though. We have the same source on this. We have the exact same source on this.
Who's the source?
Not you, buddy.
I know it's not me.
I don't trust your EV calculations. They all come out to 1K.
We never reveal our sources on
all 1K.
All your EV calculations come out to 1K. It's wild.
The source is 8chan.
I'm in. It's gotta be true.
No, I like this source. He's far more reliable than 8chan. I'm not going to take the name. A lot.
I just said 200 for first chapter and 140 for Floodborne. So
that's about right.
Yeah, this goes to the idea that there's a lot of people cracking singles to like cycle through business and stuff like that. Because the Enchanteds are huge pulls.
Of course. You know why?
Lorcana's goat.
Got it.
Yeah, baby. I get it.
Can you just get a button that you can press and it's just George's voice saying that, so we don't have to like wait for him every time? And that would be his contribution when he can't make the podcast.
Allocations. How you feeling?
Allocations.
How you feeling?
Good.
How you feeling?
Got some boxes.
Yeah.
Now
might bring back the old website.
No cuts, huh?
I got some cuts. Not a lot of cuts.
A couple weeks ago, you said if I get more than about 50%, I'm gonna start to get nervous. I'm gonna sweat.
Lorcana's goat. Lorcana will not let me down.
You got a little top sweat going on, man.
Lorcana is goat. Lorcana will not let me down.
You can pre-order Lorcana's third set at gamegrove.gg, everybody. If you're interested.
George, us and the channel members will help you move some of those boxes.
I got some boxes.
Let me, just like the reprints, it won't be a meaningful amount.
It is right at MSRP on TCG Player, and it is right at MSRP at gamegrove.gg, everybody.
It might be $5 less on a certain website that might come back to life soon.
This is going to be interesting.
Rest in peace, buddy.
I have to say, the art on the Inklands box makes me want to buy it way more than Floodborne. Like I
like the deep tones of the Floodborne. I'm a big fan of that color combo. I know it's not popular, but just personally, I like it.
I think it's because I want Lorcana to be like a fun thing, like not like scary. And Rise of the Floodborne came across as like scary.
Wait, where did Josh go?
I like this.
His data.
I like that look.
He put his data up there.
Oh, I thought you did that to Josh. I thought you were completely like kicking him off the podcast.
I have the art. It looks. I like the art.
They're like, you don't deserve to be on this podcast anymore, and your channel sucks.
Yeah, I like the art. Screw you. I like the Floodborne art. I think it's good. I like the color combo. I think it's sweet.
I'm more excited for this set than I was for Floodborne. So,
Inklands.
Yeah, Inklands does seem more hype than Floodborne, but the question is how many, now we're into the third set. We're losing first set hype. We've lost second set hype. Now we have a new card type. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, people are pumped about it. I think it'll sell well. How's it selling so far?
It's only on my channel, buddy.
You're not going to share it?
Go to Hometown TCG to check that out.
You're not going to... What?
Nope. Alrighty, everybody. That is the end of the podcast. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you go watch Josh's channel.
I'm not appreciated around here, George.
You can go to George's Rips YouTube channel for George's YouTube channel.
Why don't you are a sports break guy.
Somebody made a Twitter for us. Did you guys see this?
Yeah, you sent it to us.
Hilarious.
You sent it to us like the second it went live. Was it you?
Well, somebody sent it to me.
Did you make the Twitter?
No.
What's your source?
Is it the same person that did the EV calculator?
Huh?
Is it the same person that did the EV calculator?
It is not.
It is pretty funny. I'm kind of worried what's going to pop up on that Twitter, though.
Yeah.
I did not think this was a good idea at the time. I want the record to reflect this.
How many
good idea at the time?
How many breast milk quotes do you think are on that Twitter right now?
Like all things, may the zoo be with you. YOLO, baby. That's what we like. That's what we're here for. See what happens. Everyone, have yourself a great day. Enjoy your weekend. Remember to be kind to the people around you. May the zoo be with you.
And also with you.
How's Inklands doing?
You have to check out the video on the channel.
I'm not going to do that. Then YouTube keeps recommending it.
Thank you.